on the block. The music in we body and we start to rock.
And of course, it's just about 7 or so minutes on to the hour of 11. And y'all know what happens at 11 o'clock, right? Well, man's there, woman's there. And she's opposite me, so it's man versus woman. Yeah, that's what I say.
No comments.
You better not have no comments. Why you took so long to answer? It sounds like you were a little...
I was thinking of what to tell yourself,
what
but there are certain things I'm not allowed to say on it.
Oh. Send it to me in a message.
I can't.
Via WhatsApp?
I can't.
Why not?
My phone doesn't allow me to text men.
Oh. Is there a difference between texting and WhatsApping? I mean, I hear people use it's the same thing. Alright. Because texting to me is dry. WhatsApp is like more real time, more you can relate, interact more. Text, you send a text, you wait for a text.
It's the same.
No, it's not the same. WhatsApp is exciting.
You can video call and voice notes and all, but it's basically the same thing.
And I mean, you have videos, you have photos that can go through WhatsApp. That text you don't. Who texts anymore? The only people that text you now is Digicel, eh?
And Cots.
And Cots just text you. Yeah, okay. Well, you gotta know.
I'm not the only person.
You're not the only person. All right. So I don't know anyone that courts text. I mean,
I know I'm not the
only one. Locked on to the All in the Hits 92.1. Just about 11 o'clock in St. Lucia and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Of course, you're locked onto the On the Hits 92.1, 91.1. It's that time of the day again. Man versus woman. Good morning to you, Flawless. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
It's man versus woman.
It's woman versus man. Let's not get into that.
I don't know about that.
Stephanie and Leah, come get asylum.
You cannot. They can't remove me. I can remove you.
Yeah, right.
And replace you with one of, can't. And replace you with one of the ladies.
You literally. First of all, they write to Flawless and Asylum.
Why is
so because I asked her to come remove you.
Can you leave, please?
You listen to me, Stephanie. Can you have a seat?
Can you?
Excuse you. Excuse you.
It's not the numbers, huh? It's the skill.
Yeah, right.
It's the skill.
What bum skills?
Jules, you have bum skills. Jules, can you close the door? Jules, you have any bum skills, Jules? Oh my goodness.
Your bum. Big up Kelly B on that one.
Yeah, what do you say about guys who have bum skills? I mean, guys that right now, the guys them seem like they're doing the most talking and the most whining and everything else. Women like that? Man versus woman. Woman find that attractive?
Me?
I mean, I always have known that if a guy can dance, he always attract women's attention. Dance. But these days, these guys are ridiculous with these, they're dancing like women.
It depends. Like,
on what?
If it's things like a man literally, shaking his bum and, that's not, no. But if you're giving a nice little
you've seen
dance,
I see, especially the younger guys now, they're very feminine in the way they dance. The bum skills are like on fleek.
So that's what you be watching then.
It's like, no, I'm not watching it, but they're not. Carnival just passed. You're seeing them. You see the guys them doing the things that the women normally are known for doing.
Well, that is.
Yeah, like how do you?
It doesn't bother me, but it's not a turn on for me.
But
if I see a fella giving a little
bum skills,
not bum skills, like a little, moving his waist a little, woo,
right?
You
would do what?
Depends on how he does it, I might just smile.
Okay. Right.
So
good morning.
Woman versus man. You like women with bum skills?
Of course, man. I mean, men like women with bum. Period. From you have bum, if you have skills added to it, that's a plus.
So what if no bum but full of bum skills?
You can't have bum skills if you don't.
How
have
you know that?
No, that's just that's not right.
So many macaronis already see that.
That do not sound right. You cannot have. Guys, good morning to Dala Alphonse. She's locked on. You cannot have bum skills without bum.
But of course, I'm telling you, yes.
No, I don't see it that way.
What you say, Drills?
Drills, what do you say?
You never see a girl that don't have much, but she can move. Yeah, right, telling you.
Drills say, yeah, man.
From time it have grip.
All right, that's so wrong. That's so wrong. Good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning, the folks locked on via GVD TV channel 115.
Good morning, tomorrow.
We're back here.
Good morning.
Say that to me.
No.
Sing that to me.
No. Good morning, Emily. I miss you, honey.
Sing that for me. Like, sing a good morning for me.
Nope. You're not a woman. Why should I do that?
So
that's just for the ladies.
It's man versus one again. We're
woman
here.
Versus man. Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Tamara, and of course all our listeners.
Yeah.
Let me tell you early, guys. The phone lines open 458-2488 or 721-3303. All right. We have a very interesting situation this morning from one of our younger listeners, and we'll try to help them with some answers.
Yes.
But before we go into that, man versus woman, we have some questions. Where did it go?
I
had a question.
Where are the questions?
I think I lost my questions. I lost my question.
You did? I think I might have a copy
you might have
a
copy of my question.
Those aren't your questions, first of all.
Okay.
So, questions to men.
Right.
Woman versus man. Why do guys always have to win? I need Leah in the room for this one.
Why do we always have to win? It's just natural. It's a natural thing. We are warriors. We are fighters. And why do you go to war? Why do you fight? To win.
No.
You don't go to fight to say, "Hey, boy, I was in a fight last night and I got
injured." Some people fight
I
for
broke
the
my arm and my collarbone. No, we don't do that.
Some people fight for the fun of it.
Yeah, but the fun is still winning. The fun of winning. I mean, on a serious note, though, I mean, guys are usually more robust, more solid, dominant, and with anything, the domineering partner, person or half, always wants to come out on top. So I think it's just in our natural. It's in our natural being. It's just who we are.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
That's the way we're made up. Why do women always want to win? Have the last say.
Why do always? Because that's just what it is. We should always have the last say.
Because y'all don't know when to
no
quit.
matter if we're right or wrong, good or bad.
Women do not know when to quit when it comes to an argument.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, not unless
now
you get total submission.
Compared to how it was before, now we do. Men don't quit. It's like men take on the role of women and women take on the role of...
Go home. Go home. You're fired.
All
in favor of Flawless going home for the rest of the day, say aye via WhatsApp 7213303.
Dude, please. Nobody's going to say aye.
Nobody's going to say aye.
And unless somebody really wants me to go home, because let me tell you, I can use a nap right now.
Well, you can put your head down right there. Let people watch you nap on TV.
I don't want to...
you see how far that will go.
I don't want to drop any,
Bave.
Okay.
My goodness. Again, good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning to the folks that are tuned in via GVD TV, Man versus Woman, Hits FM 92.1, 91.1.
I have another question.
You have another question? What question?
Why do men brag so much when they get a little action?
Boys do
Why
that.
Men do it as well. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Men stay true to their bedroom business.
Dude, I'm not talking about your personal person.
Whether it's in their bedroom or somebody else's bedroom, we stay true to it.
I am not talking about your personal woman.
You see, let me tell you, men go through stages in life, right? That first stage is like, they're all excited. They want to push up their chest. They want to, get some. They don't really care who they get it from. Mm-hmm. The next stage is sort of a bragging kind of stage, a boasty kind of stage. Yeah, boy, I have 5 women. I'm the stud in the whole country. All the women talking about me. They like my ride. They like my house. They like my, all that. Mm-hmm. But the house is their parents' owning.
Right.
Because they haven't gotten their own house yet. And then the next phase we go through is like a calm phase. We don't want nobody to know our business. Everything is done in secret.
Not all men go through those phases.
Yes, majority.
Majority of you stay at phase 1.
Not a majority. No, I wouldn't agree with you. No. I'm not going to stand up for that.
Majority, Asylum. You can say what you want. I know what I'm saying.
No. A small portion.
Yeah, right. Majority of y'all stay at phase 1. No. Yeah.
No. I'm not going to agree with that. Stage 1 is for the boys at heart that never
exactly.
Grow up. They don't want to commit to any.
That's
they don't want to commit to any.
That's how all men are now.
They don't want to commit to anyone or anything. Just live life.
Exactly. That's how you guys still are.
No, not all men. No, I totally disagree with you on that one. Right. So, do you think? Did I answer your question?
No, you didn't.
So, what else do you want me to tell you?
You had to agree with me. No. Boy.
We're going back to our first question. Why do women feel they're always right? Right?
I haven't. Why
you cuddling up the microphone so you can move the mic away from you?
Why?
I don't know if you just like.
I like it close to me.
Why? But you can move it.
Because I always have a mic in my hand.
Can we switch?
No.
Let the folks see what Flawless looks like with this mic. She's. Oh, you're moving it now. Well, put it properly so you can at least hear you. We don't want to put it where they can't hear you. Yes, that's better. Yeah, can we, technician? Can we switch? No, we switch already. Okay, all right. So we'll get it.
Okay.
You got another question?
Yes, I have another question.
Right.
Why do guys have a hard time expressing their feelings?
Because we're not supposed to be seen as weak or emotional. And expression of feelings is something that really brings out the weakness in you. So that's why we don't like it. We would tell you, yeah, babes, I love you. But we never say, babes, I really, really love you. You know how much you mean to me. We just do it real rough. We try to keep it rough.
But that's
if we do it, we keep it. Well, we know that, but it doesn't matter for us. Yeah, Flawless boy. I check it. Not now. I checking you.
Women like a man who can express himself, like your
every once in a while.
We like men who show, not always show
the hard side,
but not the hard side. Not always show the soft side, but when it's time to show, we like men.
But then when men do show their soft side, like too much of their soft side, women look at them as
that's what I'm saying. Not too much. No, just a little.
Is it just that you guys though? It's hard to please you women.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
We give too much and you complain. We don't give, you complain. We don't give too little, you complain.
I believe you can give a little, but too much, I'll watch you like really everything you want to cry for.
Right. We don't cry, huh?
Yes, you do.
We don't cry.
Too much.
We don't cry. Men cry? Where you hear that?
Too much.
We don't cry. We sob.
No, the guys I've had
We do not,
feelings if they cry.
we do not cry. Hey, I wonder why. You make a grown man cry.
Whoa.
Stop playing in the microphone this morning, Flawless.
But I feel like I need it there.
No, well, you know, it's kind of like in your face.
It is?
Yeah, that's good. We want the camera to
Now,
see you.
funny thing is,
You trying to hide
about
something?
2 weeks ago, you were telling me that I'm not speaking into the mic.
Yes, speak up. Throw your voice
No,
out.
because the mic wasn't that close to me.
Put your voice out there, you know, like, you know, don't
Man,
versus woman.
let's not.
I like the way you said that.
Okay.
So we want to get into our scenario, our situation. It's 17 minutes after the hour.
Yeah, I think
Do you have any more questions, though?
I'll
save them for the end?
leave the rest
For the end? All right. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good.
So we've got
Yeah.
a situation.
Yes.
Okay, so
Do
this
the
one
honors.
says, Flawless and Asylum. Good morning.
Switch that around. If you're gonna read it properly.
Okay,
huh?
Asylum and Flawless. Good
Okay,
morning.
good.
Whatever.
Yes.
The reason your name is first is because it has the first letter of the alphabet. Okay. They put it alphabetical.
That means I'll always be
They
first.
put it in alphabetical order.
Get it through your head. Men would always be first.
No.
All right. So let's go.
Anywho, my mother doesn't trust me anymore because she goes through my phone and finds things. Also because I talk to boys and flirt with them. I am 15 years old though. She says that I'm looking for sex, but really I'm not. Sorry, but I'm really not. I just want to regain her trust, but she just keeps finding things on my phone in my text messages. It's annoying because if she refrains from looking through my phone, then we wouldn't have these issues.
Why are you laughing?
But that is all I got, right? That is it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's it.
guys, this is it. We have a WhatsApp text platform open. The number is 7213303, or you can call via the studio line at
4582488 is the number to call.
right.
Wow. 15 years old. Mom goes through. And I believe at 15 we should be policing our children. You know, we should be going through their phones and their books and their. We have a 12-year-old in studio with us. I wonder what she thinks about this. Yeah, because I realize that she's spending the day here and she plays in her phone a lot. I've seen her in her phone quite a bit. Put a long shot, and then come. We wanna ask you a question. I think 12. Yeah, 12 years old. So let's get a youngster's opinion on what she might consider her privacy. Come on in. Come on this way. Come around here. I don't think the other microphone is not gonna work for you. So stand with me. How old are you?
12.
You're 12. What's your name, by the way?
Aria.
Aria. Wave to everybody on TV. There. You have a phone, right? You have your own phone,
Yeah.
right? Does mom go through your phone?
Yeah.
She does. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
When do you think that should stop? That mom should stop going through your phone? At what age? When you're maybe 13, 14, or do you think that mom should be able to go through your phone for the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life.
Yeah. So you have a close relationship with your mommy.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure that's gonna change in about a year or two. But we'll work with that. We'll work with that. So you feel that your mom should have access to your phone or will have access to your phone because you guys are good and you're a good kid.
Yeah.
Now going into Form 1. Are you excited? What school are you going to?
Entry 4.
Big up Entripo. Big up Entripo. She'll be going to Entripo come September. And you're only 12. You have your own phone and mom goes through your phone, no problem. You don't have a problem with that. All right. Thank you very much. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna discount half of what she says because I'm sure that once she hits that first year in high school, things are gonna change.
It's over.
Things are gonna change, and that's the thing.
Not necessarily.
But well, all right.
There are a few good people left.
Okay, so let's just say on the most part, the Form 1 is that are going into Form 1, the kids that are going to the Form 1 this year, whose parents have free reign of their phones, you're going to notice that a password is going to be put on that in no time.
Maybe.
Right? For some of them.
Were you that type of person?
Me? At that age? My mother still goes, my mother's still in control of my life. You haven't noticed? Okay. But again, and this is the thing, we know we as parents need to really focus more on what our children are always up to.
Right.
We have to always, because
Definitely.
look at you give birth to that child.
Right.
You invest everything you have in that child,
Right.
and you want good for them.
Right.
Now, the way social media and you know these smartphones work, these kids have access to any kind of information.
Every kind of information.
You know,
Let's say it how it is.
my 3-year-old have a tablet.
Yo.
Sky.
Has
Sky's
a
a boss.
what?
Sky has a tablet and a cell phone. Sky's a bossy.
I got my first phone when I was in Form 2.
And you bought that yourself, or mom bought that for you?
My dad bought it for me.
Well, a Pale, right?
I was 11, but
It's a Pale.
no,
You couldn't do much.
It wasn't a pill.
Uh-huh.
It was,
15 years ago,
them
15
Motorola
15
things.
years ago, that's a Pale.
Huh?
That's a Pale. The most you could have done with that is text.
No. And what about calling?
Yeah,
That
what,
game.
I mean, what kind of game? Atari?
No, some shooting thingy.
Yeah, okay.
Some
alright.
star
But
something.
modern day, let's fast forward to today. These kids have phones that could. Some of these phones could run an entire country.
I will never give.
You can run a phone. You can use some of these phones to manage, a corporation.
50, not even
Right.
when you're 12, fine. But to be a teenager,
But would you still go through the child's phone at 12?
Yeah.
Should a parent give a child a phone
Yes.
and don't expect to want to go through it, check what the child's doing, what the child's up
am I
to?
going through it? If I could put them parental lock things on it, kind of get the internet searches
Right.
filtered and all of that. Why not?
But here's the thing: a lot of these kids get their phone on their own, and don't ask me how.
Well, any kid of mine, you're not there yet, but when you come, if I see you with a phone that my money didn't buy at such a young age, expect to get. I
Well,
gotta
some
say it,
parents,
okay.
some parents definitely will ask where you get the phone, and some will say, "Hey, you could get one for me too."
You know there are parents who actually do that. For
Yes,
real.
of course, and that's why I'm saying that.
Those are the craziest types of parents.
You know?
I've seen parents tell their children, you need to do this and this to send your brother to school, or to send yourself to school, or to get groceries. It's
I mean,
very
to me-
heartbreaking
to me-
to see parents letting their children. I mean, you should be that child's protector and
Right.
stuff, and to think that you would encourage them or push them, even force them to get into that type of thing. I know from somebody who did it, somebody whose mom asked her to, and she kind of said no at the beginning. Her mother put her out and all of that. She still ended up doing something she's not proud of. I mean, she's a totally different person now.
Right.
But then, I mean, it still took a toll on her. It still affects her. You can tell that it does affect her. And that's the thing. Parents don't realize the harm it does to their children. When you have your children doing those types of things at such an early age, they grow up with that mentality. They grow up with that, you get me?
Right.
And they they think it's okay. It's okay to do it. It's okay that their children do it as well. So they start them off very early. That's just a very bad practice.
All right, so I have a real nice comment here. Having a close relationship with your mother as a young adult is one of the best pleasures. And let me just go back there. She's not a young adult. She's 15 in life. But the opposite can be a nightmare. You need to regain your mother's trust because it appears that she has lost it somehow. I mean, as a parent, if I happen to stumble through or go through my 15-year-old, which I think that we should. At 15,
Yeah.
that child is just beginning to, her body's changing, all these things. And you have to be protective because there are people out there watching, looking, waiting to destroy. So you have to be mindful of that. And I believe that at 15, parents should be, whilst giving them, starting to teach them about privacy and responsibility and all that, you still need to police them
All right.
at that age.
Definitely.
Your mother finding things in your phone that she deems inappropriate. I think your mother is just being concerned.
Exactly.
And if she feels that my little girl is not into these things yet, and then all of a sudden she stumbles through your phone and see you texting boys, and depends on the nature of the text. I mean, if it's just about school and like, these type of thing, hey, how you doing? Is everything going well?
Fine.
But if it's things of sexual matter, of course there's reason for the mom to be concerned and ultimately lose trust in you. Right. Regaining trust isn't the easiest thing to do, when you've broken someone trust, getting that trust back is not so easily done. And that person would always see what you did and always remember what you did. What I find is that the child wanting the mother to do. Here's how you do that: have little girl talks with your mom. Even if you're changing, you're growing, you're learning things. It seems like you guys are very close already. Right. And I commend you for wanting to have your mom's respect and your mom's trust. A lot of children don't care about what their parents think. So I do commend you. But when as you're changing, you're developing, your body's changing, you're developing, things are gonna happen to you that you might not even be aware of. Or you might not fully understand what is happening. The best person to run to is mom. A boy tell you something and talk to mom. Like you have to remember that parents always, there's not a parent on this earth. Even sometimes when West Indian parents get mad and they'll say the worst things to their children, they don't mean it. Because when something does happen, they're the first there.
They
like to tell you they wish you all the bad in the world sometimes when they get frustrated.
That's just West Indian parents.
That's just the way they handle that. And if something does happen to you, believe me, they will be the first one there.
And I feel at 15, I know people like children these days don't even give themselves time to mature and all of that. But I just feel at 15,
you're young.
Focus
on school. Focus
on being a child.
You're in what?
That's what it is.
Third form, fourth form at that age.
Because trust me, when adulthood comes, you're going to miss your childhood.
You're gonna. Hey,
trust me.
I always say that the best days of my life is school days. School days are the best days.
I wish I could go back in time.
When you're younger.
I feel like I was just 15 2 days ago, and now I'm not going to say my age, but
majority of people always end up telling you later on in life, if I knew then what I know now, things would have been different with me. Most people will tell you that. Because it's very few of us who end up in the perfect situation, that dream situation. For the ones who do that, they work hard, extremely hard, especially in school, to excel, to be on top, so that they can get that dream life that they always envision for themselves growing up. For the rest of us, we'll make a lot of mistakes. We would have a lot of regrets. But the thing is, we always end up saying, if I knew then what I know now, things would have been different with me. Right.
So what regrets do you have?
Me,
not regrets, but what do you wish you could have changed?
I mean, I have a lot of things that if I had the opportunity to go back in time and correct or right, that I would have. I would have done things differently. A lot of things I would have done differently. But that's just the nature of life. That's how life is. It keeps you in check. You make a mistake, you get to look back at it and try not to repeat that mistake again in life. It doesn't come with a manual. Life doesn't come with a book. It doesn't tell you what you need to do tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, you tackle it, and you are gonna win. You are gonna lose. You are gonna make mistakes. You are gonna be happy about some decisions that you make. And that's what it is. But as a youth, though, you really want to try to set yourself, and I think as the more focused you are as a youth is what helps you to become successful in life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have friends as a girl. We have this little girlfriend boyfriend thing. Try to keep it that way. Don't make anything physical of it.
And you may not see it now, but in school, less friends, the better it is. The better it is. Less friends, less stress, less beats in class, and all of that. You don't get to do those things. You're more focused on your work. I remember when I was in primary school, People used to call me the genius. I knew it. I used to read a lot. I really know it was my thing back then. And I barely had friends because I was shy. I was all to myself. You know, I didn't speak that much to anybody. And
but you still don't have a lot of friends.
Well, after that, I had some friends, but I just dropped all of them because it was better that way.
Right.
No, but I got so much more time to myself. I remember I was always in my books because I never had friends, and
right. Go ahead.
I was always to myself, which allowed me more time to read and do all of that, and hence I skipped 2 grades. Right. It was just a better, to me, the less friends you have, the more focused you are when you're in
exactly
school.
Exactly.
You understand? What do I regret? I have a few regrets from school. First is, well, not things I wish also I knew back then. I wish I knew my worth.
Your worth?
Yeah. I was such a, my self-esteem was so low. I didn't have much confidence, you know.
Right.
That and I didn't realize how pretty I was.
Ugly duckling. So I mean, did that
just more things, you know? I just wish, but then again, it taught me a lot. So no mistakes, just lessons to learn. No regrets.
Now, how did that help you in terms of? I mean, you said you were sort of shy and all that. At 15, were you already talking to boys and that kind of stuff, or no?
Not at 15.
Was it because of the relationship at home, where your mom probably would have killed you?
No, I was just really shy. I was just really shy. And there were guys I like to see, but I wasn't about to talk to no. And mind you, when I was 15, I had just graduated from secondary school, so.
Right. So you're already out.
I was already out, so I just.
And that's the thing. I mean, we tend to think that once you finish school that you're an adult. No. That comes with maturity. That comes with all of that. I think that mom has a right to, at your age, 15, go through your phone every once in a while, see what you're up to, and if she sees anything that, obviously, if she sees anything that she thinks is inappropriate, she would get mad. Right. So you have to be careful.
Even now, my mom, my mom has gone in my phone as old as I am. Yeah. Doesn't do anything to me. Just certain messages I delete.
Right.
You know, so she wouldn't see.
No, you're setting a bad. You're setting a bad example right there.
No, I'm just saying. Because I'm old enough too, right. But at 15, you would have a pill.
Yeah, a pill.
A pill. That's it. No.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Facebook. That's a danger too. I mean, a lot of parents go out of their way to get their children at that age, especially now. Like, the young lady we just had here with us, she's just going into high school, and parents want to reward their children, and guess what? They're not gonna go buy them. They don't really buy them books, a novel, or no, they buy them smartphones and things that they know that they're really into.
Alcatel One Touch.
But the dangers of that is that you open them to so much more when you put them on the information highway.
That's too much.
You, as a parent, though, I believe that you should, every once in a while check your child's phone and see what they're up to. And when you see things, don't get upset, right? I mean, you get upset, but don't approach them from a angry standpoint.
Right.
You sit with the child and you discuss and you talk about what's happening,
right.
And that's how you build confidence with your children. That's how you build a relationship with your children. You talk to them about certain things, and you just hope that whatever information you give them, that they'll follow it.
Right.
And that's how you build a relationship with a child.
Exactly. And I feel like parents, it's very important to have a good communication,
right.
with your child, a good relationship. Your child should be able to come and tell you, well, mommy, daddy, there's this boy in school I like to see. His name is Jimmy, and he like to poke me.
When you say poke, be careful.
You know what I'm talking about? As I like, oh my god, you know what I mean. But
I would not like to hear that anybody.
He does punch me,
or whatever way she uses to deliver it. But
he does play with me and whatever. Like, the first time I told my people I had somebody, I was scared. Let me tell you.
How old were you?
I was 19.
Okay.
I was.
But that's old school, though.
Shaking.
Old school. I mean,
my hands were sweaty. I remember when I told my mom that, my mom was like, "Kisa, monsieur, tell him go by the road and work in gutters."
Yeah, well, that's the old school parents for you.
My mom wasn't having it. My mom wasn't having that. My mom was like, "Where your house? Where your land? What you have for my daughter? What can you give my daughter?"
You get me?
And Yeah, but afterwards she accepted. You know, it took her a while, but she accepted. But and I think that's it too. I'm old school. I like being around old folks. Then I like being around young folks.
And the food's better. The food is better.
It is, and not just that, they're wise. They know everything.
And of course, they always try to encourage you. You know, it says that your mother's only protecting you. Some of us now say that if we had known, we would have listened.
Exactly.
Your mother knows things that you don't, and if the things on your phone were appropriate, she would trust you.
Exactly.
At 15, most guys don't want to talk about birds and trees. Food for thought.
That's true. It's true.
That's true. A relationship with your parent is the greatest thing, but this particular parent approach might be the problem. If you were cursing her out, or is a man you want, you know that's kind of how the type of relationship wouldn't work. In the States, what they do is, especially at high schools, there are preventative measures. They teach them about baby rearing. Okay, yes, I know that for a fact. They teach them about sex and its consequences. They offer them condoms. The bottom line is they have to come to the conclusion that sex among teens and young adults is unstoppable in this modern age of high-tech exposure. I totally agree with a lot of that, and that's why sometimes when, you know, West Indian parents go through their children's bag and find things that they didn't buy for them, and they go to their phone and see conversations, they get upset because we are not taught how to really deal with a lot of these situations. I know for a fact in North America, they will teach the young girls, especially, they have a baby alive, a real life baby alive, that they offer, that they can take care of for a week and show them how difficult it is to take care of a child. And you know, they do things like offer condoms because they've come to the realization that sex among teen is something that's almost unstoppable. Right? Parents here in the Caribbean, we don't talk sex with our children enough. We need to. We need to talk sex, and I'm not talking about being rude or having managed conversation. I'm talking about educating them. We don't do it enough. And when you as a parent can sit with your child and talk about these things, you don't worry about the little messages on the phone, because you know that your daughter knows better.
Exactly.
So, mom, on your side too, I think you need to invest some time with your daughter and let her, you know, teach her about the birds and the bees. Let her know what, you know, what are the consequences of being in a sexual relationship at a young age. You know, and I think once you do that and you have that type of relationship where you can do these things with your child, you really wouldn't have to stress when you see messages, because that child is already aware. They might already know what the little boy is already coming with, what he's trying.
But that's the thing, though, that communication and that relationship has to be like, you have to start that from the beginning, like from early teenage years. You get me? But I kind of don't blame the mom for probably wanting to get upset, because if you realize the videos surfacing these days, all the girls are really young girls.
Very young girls.
Very young girls. And I'm like, where are those girls' moms and dads? Like, where are their parents? Like, don't you see what you're...
Some of them in school uniform.
Yeah.
And it goes to show that the kids now, they're not as sensitive towards, you know, these things. Sex now is like a thing. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's having sex. Not? But there's a lot of dangers, a lot of consequences that comes with having sex if you're not responsible. And I mean, if you do it when you are at an age that you're not legally supposed to, you can get in a lot of trouble. You can get other people in trouble too.
The bad thing is now they changed the age. They changed the age and stuff. So it's like, I see it as they're still children, but they feel like they're adults, because you know it's illegal now.
You know, it's funny because where the law is concerned, it's very ticklish, because you know, we are a very Christian community or country, and you know, we don't believe in abortion and all these things, but we're making laws that allows children to defend themselves if they have sex at a certain age.
Right.
You know, you get two 70, 60, well, this is 60, what's the age of consent? 16 still?
16.
If two 16-year-olds have sex, you can, and the girl says, you know what, that's my boyfriend, I don't want to get him into trouble. Or even if he's a little older, you know.
No, but that's the thing, when you're 16, you're allowed
to
sleep with anybody.
And I think that's something that really needs to be revisited. A lot of our
16.
You know, those laws were put in place too, and I'll tell you, in a time when we didn't really look at the age of a female when it comes to getting married. They got married a lot younger. There's a lot of women who got married when they're 17, 18 years old. In the old days, that was accepted. You know, women got married a lot younger in those days. So, I mean, for you to get married at 17, there's a strong possibility that at 15 you are sexually active.
Right.
Right? I mean, hide under the bush, but you were doing your thing. Maybe at 17, the parents decide, okay, well, we know you guys are doing this, so y'all have to get married.
Right.
A lot of that used to happen. But we're in a different age now, a different era now. And I believe that these children today, they're not as hardcore or as hard as the older folks. Because, you know what, at 17, show me a 17-year-old, you know, that knows how to take a pitchfork and go out and plant some planting.
Right.
Most 16-year-olds don't know that.
Kids, this generation was basically spoiled.
But at 16 in my mother's time and my father's time, you were working hard already.
Right.
If your family had banana, you had to help to bring banana to the truck to go to geese.
Right.
You know, so we were able. They were able to provide. A man was able to provide at an earlier age then than we are today.
Right.
Because trust me, if you got somebody's daughter pregnant at 16 in those days, you know you have to find a job.
Right.
Your mother not feeding that child for you. But today we have mothers feeding, grandparents taking care of children for their children.
Yep, or just have when they make the child, when the child makes the child, it's like the parents just take the child.
Just take the child. I mean, sometimes I'm amazed when I see my mom with my kids. I'm asking, where were you when I was a child? Total different person.
I know, right?
But I mean, when teenagers have children and the parents of those teenagers take those children under their wings, yes, you want to see that it is your family, your grandchild, and you want to see that child being taken care of properly, but teach the children how to do it themselves.
All right.
Don't do it for them.
All right, definitely.
Teach the children, teach the father how to go and get a job and work to feed that child.
Yesterday I was telling you about the situation. I found out about a family member that she is young. She just turned 15, and she found out she's pregnant, and she's sick. Remember I told you she has cervical cancer. Right. And that just goes to show you, like, we really need to start developing a relationship with our kids from an early age. You get me? Because it's like basically a mom doesn't care about her.
And that's,
I mean, if you're going to bring somebody into this world, you need to take care of that person, not just physically, emotionally, mentally. That is your daughter. You have to teach that child right from wrong. Teach her, tell her what to do, what not to do, what road to take, what road not to take. Because she just turned 15, and to know that you're dying from a disease that's known only to be affecting grown people, right? Only known in grown people. To say that you just turned 15 and you have it, and your mom basically doesn't care about you, and you're there, and plus you're pregnant, nobody's there with you. That is nothing nice. Now people are going around saying, oh, the child was hot, you know, she had hot feet, she should have known better than to go and sleep around and all of that. As much as, yes, I give them that, but at the same time, had a mom been there to tell her what to do,
play that role.
She would never be in that situation. Right. She wasn't getting love and attention from home. What did you want the child to do?
So she went and looked for it outside.
As much as what she did was wrong, but I cannot give her all the blame.
Right.
Her mom gets majority of it. That's me. That's my opinion.
I agree with you. That the mom should bear some blame.
Yeah.
Because if it's a situation where she's been neglected and you know, but what do we do though as a society? Do we ridicule and do we beat down and do we push down? We try to rectify these problems. Do we try to put programs in place to help these young mothers now. She's already going to be a mother. There's nothing that can be done now, right? It's a little too late.
Right.
But what happens to her from here on? That's something that I think that we really need to visit,
right,
and try to put things in place,
right,
to help these young women. Now, should she get treatment and that kind of thing and bring a child into this world at that age? I think she does need some support, and that's where I feel a lot of West Indian parents lacking, is that whenever their children make mistakes,
they're out of
we kind of turn our back on them too often.
Right.
You know, I was just happy to see an article last week that came out of St. Vincent where they're actually pushing hard to make the re-entry program for young mothers into school,
right,
make a big effort in pushing it now.
Right.
They said that the program has been in place since 2014, but there's no pushing, there's nothing behind it. Now they're doing it because there's a lot of women, young women. I don't know if I even want to call them women. Young girls
right,
with babies, and if they don't get the help that they need to get them back into like the workforce and all that, then they end up becoming a statistic. I just started over that, right? So we need to help. You know, we need to the authorities need to put more emphasis on trying to help these people, and prevention is always better than cure.
Right.
We need to put things in place. Family planning needs to step up. We need to put more family planning in the schools. Talk more about sex in the schools and the consequences of having sex in the schools. We need to bring more of this to the forefront.
Right. And I was just going to say that when I go to health centers now and even hospitals, all I see is children pregnant.
Children pregnant, eh?
All I ever see is children. At my age, I haven't had a child. You get me? I still feel like I'm not ready.
Some of these young girls, they're so tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny. I saw a young lady, a little
ball,
a little bump in front of them.
And I'm like, yo, you're not even giving your body time to mature. So I was watching this documentary on kids who get sold and they get forced into marriage and stuff.
Right.
And in that country, I can't remember what country it is, but majority of the girls are pregnant. Little children, it's like 11, 12 pregnant. And what's been happening...
Some cultures though, I tell you.
What's been happening is that the children are being born too weak. Like because the mothers aren't developed
mature enough, the bodies aren't developed enough.
Yo, and I'm like, do you guys not see that? That is wrong. Those children can't even give birth to children because they're not even ready to do that shit. And you'll just getting the children pregnant.
This message says, if you bought the phone and paid the bill, then you have room to complain. Trust is a two-way street, the same as respect. While you are young and your mind is still developing, you cannot fully grasp consequences. Your parent is in a better position to understand things you have not yet comprehend. And that is so true. I do believe that. But is the parent or is her mom making the effort though? That is the question.
That's the question. And she should make that effort. You should try to have that bond with her child, that relationship, where your child will just be able to come to you and say, well, Mom, and when I will have my kids asylum, that's how I want it to be.
Right.
You can talk to your mom about it. I might get mad about some stuff, but I'm never going to, like, if you come to me, I'm not going to go at you or quarrel with you or whatever.
Just kind of
if I find out on my own,
even though you're disappointed, you'll
right. If I find out on my own, that's totally different. Best believe that I'm going to open my mouth and say what I have to say. But if you come to me and you tell me, well, this and that, I mean, just the thought that you even came to me, I'll be like, oh, she came to me, and I'll just deal with it in a very polite manner. But yeah, it's very important to have that relationship with your children, especially in this day and age. That relationship is very, very, very important. Very.
I have a very, very interesting comment here. It says, trust once lost is hard to regain. Open communication in every relationship is key. As a teenager, flirting innocently can sometimes lead to the unintentional, but that depends on the parties involved and their mindset. My advice: speak to your mom about everything. I spoke to my dad about everything as a teenager. Though uncomfortable, at times based on the topic, but was the best thing I could have done. As an adult today, I will maintain that relationship and I can still speak about anything with my dad. I definitely love this comment. I applaud that comment. This one says, innocent texting is one thing, but if she finding flirty stuff, then that might be the problem. I know what flirty text can look like. And if you're 15, I don't think you should be surprised that she has a problem with them.
Exactly.
Right? Another comment says, you can tell that some of those okay, let me not read that one. Flirting with boys on the phone is not the same as having an intelligent conversation with them. When they say goodbye, they will think you are an immature kid who doesn't understand serious things like actually having a boyfriend. Flirting is not a verbal exercise that leads into a respectable relationship, but that becomes something solid. It is like saying, come on to somebody you don't know well enough to be sure you would even want them. Girls who flirt do it because they feel lonely and empty. They don't care who or what the guy is. Anybody is paying any attention to them. That is why they do it. That is why they do it. So this person is talking about flirting and what it means on different levels.
Right.
The person feels that when girls flirt, they're looking for attention. Is that so? Do you think that?
I mean, not necessarily. It depends. If you're flirting over the phone, it could be somebody you've met before. Like, but if it's like you just meet some random person on Facebook, or you just get some random number and you start flirting, then that's a huge problem. Like, why would you even? You don't know the person. Why would you be here flirting?
All right. So someone responded to that comment though. They says, girls who flirt is because they feel lonely and empty with a question mark. Can't believe that you said that. What about boys, men and women who flirt? Relationship always begins with a flirt. Just because you flirt don't mean that you want a relationship. It's part of the human nature. Even the animal kingdoms flirt. For this girl, it is part of growing up. Getting to know who you are and who the other one is. Sometimes a flirt is just a flirt. Please, instead of putting this girl down and saying that she is lonely and empty, say something that will encourage and build her up. And please do not get your facts straight about flirting. A guy flirted with me today. 20 years later, he is my husband, father of my children. We still flirt with each other today.
Now that's the thing, though.
We are not lonely or empty.
That's the thing. I mean, at 15, to me, you can flirt a little. You see a little boy you like, he likes you too. But it's just a like situation. Fine. But I don't think a mother would get on with you for just a like situation. Or probably she would. It depends. If your mom is Adventist, then she just might. But I think flirting, harmless flirting is okay. It's cute. Like, you're young. You like Trayvon. Trayvon likes you. You'll blush at each other at school. You'll talk over the phone. Yeah, it's fine. But if it goes to the extent where you're sending nudes and stuff like that, that is a no-no.
All right. So this other message says, at your age, books should be your focus. What do you expect for the boys or think after flirting with them? And your mom can't trust you if you can't be trusted, so make sure you're trustworthy, because seeking trust is a difficult thing.
Now, mind you, everybody said it in those messages, and I don't care what y'all say. All of y'all were flirting at that age.
Of course.
All of y'all were.
I think so much is a matter of what really is being related in the flirting messages.
Right, that's the thing, but we don't know for sure what.
Right. If it's just, like I said, if it's just chatter, if you and your boyfriend at school. And I would say it that way because he's a boy.
Right.
Just having conversations, about the day at school or whatever, and having a little laugh. Maybe he might throw a little heart emoji in there, and you might throw one back or say a LOL, and that kind of thing. That's fine. I mean, I think at that age, that's when children are developing, they're finding out things about themselves, they're learning about each other.
Right.
That's fine. But I mean, you're talking about breaking your mom's trust, and let me ask you, what is more important to you, flirting with a boy or your mom's trust? To me, it sounds like you and your mother have a very good relationship.
Yeah.
Right? And I commend you for reaching out to us, asking us for help.
Right.
Because you want to restore that trust. The only way, in my eyes, to restore that trust is to let your mother see that you're not doing things that she deems inappropriate.
Right.
Because I don't think if like I said, if it's little messages with heart emojis, and I don't think your mother will get upset over that.
There are moms who get upset over that, you know.
Because they probably figure that you should be focused on other things.
But
right?
I mean, there are the exceptions. The exceptions where okay, I know this young couple. Big up yourself, Lise. I just said your name. Yes. They started off dating at school.
And they're married now. It happens.
Form one, I think it was. And they're married.
There are a lot of people. There are a lot of couples.
They're in love. And
that started off from the
friendship.
very, very young age.
It was a friendship. It was genuine. It was beautiful. And I remember growing up and looking at them, and I was like, wow, those two are actually, you know, the chemistry was there. You could have seen it. They weren't hiding anything. They would go out on dates and all of that. And I mean, there are youngsters who do that. Like, you know, they start off as friends and all that, and flirtatious and all that. And it develops into a relationship and then marriage.
Yes, okay, and that's fine. But I mean, at 15, we're not looking at 15 I was not thinking, okay, well, this is where I'm going to be 20 years from now.
There are 15-year-olds who think that way now. Especially the women. The girls, the young girls. Because technically, a 15-year-old girl is a 21-year-old woman. If you don't know. These days, mentally.
Well mature. All right. Well, I mean, you're a woman, so I'll leave you on that one. But again, really and truly, at 15, your main focus should be school. Really.
And enjoy the teenage years.
I always tell my kids, look, I will try my best to do everything for you that I possibly can. The only thing I'm asking you in return is that you get an education. You study, you know, you go to school and you focus and you get in it. You know, whatever I can give you, not every time you ask for something, because I ain't rich. When if I can't do it today, I'll tell you when I can. We'll get it done eventually. But I don't want anything back from you.
Right.
I don't want you to think of bust your head on doing stuff for your father.
Right.
The only thing I want you to do is try to be educated. Go to school, learn your lessons, move from one form to the next, and ultimately into tertiary education and become become educated.
Right.
That's the only thing.
Right.
And I think that more parents need to beat that in their children's head. There are a lot of children who are taking on some serious responsibilities too, especially here in St. Lucia. We have a lot of children who are acting as parents to their siblings.
Right.
A lot of young girls who are actually running their homes. You understand me?
Right.
And we have to examine that. We have to take a step back and ask ourselves, what are we doing to our children? Because here's what. You have a young daughter, right? You have 5 kids. When you're not at home, whether you're at work or you're out gallivanting, that young daughter is taking care of those children. What are you teaching her to do?
Exactly.
You're teaching her to be a mother.
Exactly.
You're teaching her to take care of children. There's nothing wrong with those lessons. But in her mind, or to me, the things that she actually is supposed to be focused on, she's not. She has to make sure her younger brother get his diaper change and make sure he get a bobo.
Right.
And make sure the middle brother goes to school,
Right.
While you're out. I know fun. I'm just saying, I know some mothers have it hard. They have no choice but to ask the older ones to help out while they go out. But you need to explain that to them. This is not me leaving you here to be a mother to these children. These children are not yours.
Right.
They're mine. But based on the situation that we're in right now, I'm asking you as the older one to help as much as you can.
Right.
So that I can go out and bring some food in.
And not party.
And not party. If it's party, it's a different situation.
Right.
But for the single mothers that are out there working and they have an older child that's helping, you need to explain that to that child. Every once in a while, bring something home just for that little girl and say, you know what, Flawless, I know this week has been really hard for us and you've been helping out really well. This little ice cream is yours. Reward them with a little something for themselves.
Right.
So that they can see that they're not being forced to do this. They're doing it because they know that there's a need for them to help out.
Right.
But when you throw it on their table, you throw it on their plate, I think it's wrong.
Right.
I think it's wrong. So we got about 3 minutes left. To the young lady, 15 years old, really, I as much as I would say that this is a time of learning, you really need to focus on that.
Yeah.
And yes, you are learning. You're going to be learning in school. You're going to be learning about yourself, your body. You're developing. You're changing. You're going to be learning about boys. It's a part of it's a natural thing.
Right.
But try to focus and prioritize what you need to learn.
Right.
Right? Prioritize what you need to learn.
Right.
Try to build that trust back in your mom. I
Exactly.
get in the letter that you and your mom are very close and you want that relationship, otherwise you wouldn't be writing to us.
Right.
Let your mom know, you know what, mom, I know you saw some messages and I'm sorry. It's just that sometimes we get caught up with talking and you might say something and I respond to it, but I'm not doing anything that I shouldn't be. Reassure your mother.
Right.
And I can prove that to you. And then from there on, you try to stay away from those messages because she's still gonna check your phone to see what's going on.
Right. My advice to you is just talk to your mom. If you know that your flirtatious behavior is innocent and it's just somebody you like and it's cute and all of that, keep it cute. But make your main focus, like Asylum said, make it your studies, your schoolwork, getting to know the person. I mean, don't rush into it. You're young. You have a lot of growing up to do.
Right.
Take it easy. You flirt a little. Don't overdo it. Don't send any nudes. Don't send anything out of the way. And yeah, and make sure you talk to your mom and explain to her that, Mom, this is what I meant by this and this guy. And if you know you have nothing with him,
Right.
explain that you have nothing going on and whatever, and just explain to her that you're young, you're growing up. There are people you like to see the same way she was growing up, and there were people
Of course.
see. I mean, she has to understand that she was a
A
teenager.
15-year-old at
You get
once.
me?
Yeah, of course.
So just explain that to her and just tell her, you want that trust you want that trust back. You want to have that trust built back between the two of you.
Right.
And yeah,
man, open up. Tell your mom, talk to your mom, speak to mommy and say, Mommy, I'm really sorry that I made you feel the need to not trust me anymore because of what I've been up to, but it would never happen again, and try your best not to make it, because at your age you really don't need to focus on boys.
exactly.
I mean, they are gonna be around. It's hard to ignore them.
Yeah.
And mind you might probably say, "Oh, I have a lot of cute boys in my class. I don't even know which one to talk." But then the cuteness grow out, and they become ugly.
Some of them.
I'm just throwing that one in there. All right, we want to thanks guys once again, and I want to shout out Miss Teresa down in Ancillary. She just messaged me. She said that she was watching. So, mwah. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Flawless Man versus Woman.
Woman versus man.
Right here in Hits FM 92.1, 91.1, GVD TV channel 115.
Boom.
Join us tomorrow at 11. Have yourselves a wonderful day. We're out of here.